What is up, YouTube? Trent the Great here, bringing you a Pokemon Black and White Wi-Fi battle. This is against Twistedpuppy from the Pokecommunity, and I wanted a battle, and he was like, okay, let's battle. And this is the first time we've battled. So in the team preview, I see a rain team. I brought a couple pokes that I haven't used before, like Latias and Espeon, and I really wanted to try them out, so this was a good chance for me to try them out. I'm going to lead off with my Metagross because I want to get rocks up. He's going to lead with Politoed to get his rain out because he is not fearing another weather because I do not carry one on this team. So he's going to switch out into his Rotom Wash, and I go for the Stealth Rocks. And I was predicting that he was a bulky Rotom for some reason, so I went into Espeon to see that. And he does carry the Will-O-Wisp, and I bounced it back with Magic Bounce, but he avoided it, but that's alright. So on the switch, I am going to set up a Calm Mind. Switch it into Scizor. Set up that Calm Mind, which is a pretty good spot for me right now. And I thought this was HP Fire, but it's actually a neutral, so I'm not quite sure what it was. Yeah, after Life Orb and Calm Mind, I did a lot to that Scizor. And he takes me out with a Pursuit, predicting I was going to switch, but that did a lot to me anyway. Because Espeon is kind of frail if it's not the bulkier sets. And I switch into Metagross to wall Scizor, and he switches back out into Rotom. I went for the Hammer Arm, kind of the safer play. And I want to see how much that would do. And that did about half with Lefty's recovery now. So I switch into Heatran, predicting he was going to go for the Will-O-Wisp to try to get the Flash Fire boost, but he makes a good play and goes for the Pain Split. And this also will give me a chance to try to switch into Gastrodon. So predicting he was going to go for the Hydro Pump, I switch into Gastrodon, and he actually does go for the Hydro Pump, so that's a pretty good play for me, getting my Storm Drain boost with Gastrodon. And I know he's not going to want to stay in there now because I resist 2 of his stat moves. And he switches into his Ferrothorn, which will be 4 times super effective. He does make a good play switching into Ferrothorn, predicting, I don't know if he was predicting the Toxic or what, but he probably wanted to take out Gastrodon. But it was a good play nonetheless because I went for the Toxic. I switch into Metagross to resist his Power Whip and Gyro Ball. So Metagross was a pretty good switch for me in this battle. And I can still hit him with Hammer Arm. So he goes back into his Rotom Wash form, and I believe I do go for the Hammer Arm. Yep, I go for the Hammer Arm again. And that actually takes him out with a crit. So I'm sorry, buddy, but I got a crit there. And yeah. So Metagross is looking pretty good, almost at full HP. He switches back into Politoed. And I switch back out into Gastrodon, predicting the Hydro Pump, which is a water move, because usually Politoeds will carry that nice water move and not go for anything else against a Metagross. And I get my Storm Drain boost with Gastrodon. And I went for the Earth Power for some reason, and I didn't think he was going to switch, and I kind of forgot he had Dragonite, which was kind of unfortunate. He goes into Dragonite and uses Hurricane, which is 100% accurate in the rain, and that confuses my Gastrodon, and I think I did go for the Toxic or the Recover here. So that does about half to me. And I recover my health with leftovers, and we both do a double switch here. He switches out into his Ferrothorn, predicting the Toxic, and I go back into my Metagross because I wanted to resist that Hurricane if he used it again. So Metagross is full health, and he is going to be full health with his Ferrothorn. So I basically go for the Hammer Arm because if he stays in, he's going to be hit by that, and I wanted to see how much it would do to Ferrothorn, but he switches into Politoed, and that brings him down to low red health. And I just go for the Bullet Punch. Even though he resists it, I thought it would be able to KO him, but I guess not. And he goes for the Hydro Pump, which does a lot to my Metagross, and I'm at low health right now. And I go for the Bullet Punch to finish him off because even if he switches out and switches back in, he's dead to entry hazards anyway. So, yeah. He switches out into his Dragonite, which is going to completely wall me. So I actually stay in, though. He goes for the Brick Break, and I went for the Meteor Mash. And I thought I didn't remember if Steel was resistant. I probably should know that, but I thought Steel was resistant for some reason. And yeah, I went for the Meteor Mash trying to get the attack boost, but that doesn't happen. And I bring him down to a low enough health where I can go for the Bullet Punch. So he's going to go back into his Scizor and go for the superpower, and that's going to take me out. So his Scizor is now minus defense and attack, so I'm pretty sure I can take another superpower from this Scizor. It's probably a Choice Banded set, which kind of was confirmed before. So even Choice Banded, he takes Gastrodon down to a low health from half health, and I just go for the Skull to finish off this Scizor. So yeah, Scizor Choice Bandit in the rain is actually a pretty good poke, especially because fire is weakened. And he goes into his alt alley, which is his Toxicroak, and he goes for the substitute, which I kind of confirmed that set was going to be a substitute bulk up set, and I went for the recover, kind of not thinking he was going to go for the substitute, but after I saw the sub, I knew he was going to be a sub bulk up set. So Gastrodon recovers to a pretty decent chunk of health here, and he goes for the bulk up behind that sub, and I just go for the super effective Earth Power to try to break his sub. And I do break that sub because I also get a crit, so that would have been cool if he was not behind that sub. But he has Dry Skin and Black Sludge, which he's going to recover double with that. So he goes for the Sucker Punch, and that's going to take me down to low or medium yellow. And I just go for the Earth Power. I want to see how much that will do. And that brings him down to low red, but he is actually going to be able to recover with Dry Skin and Black Sludge. I also recover with my lefties. And he goes for the Drain Punch. I don't know why I didn't switch out Gastrodon, but I thought he could live that Drain Punch, but I probably should have just switched out. So now his Toxicroak is going to be pretty much at 3/4 health here. So I switch it to my Latias because this is my bulky Latias, and I actually go for the Roar, predicting his Sucker Punch. And I bring out his Ferrothorn, which I can't physically damage his Ferrothorn, so that's kind of unfortunate. He goes for the Gyro Ball, and that does about half. And I just go for the Roar again, trying to get the entry hazards damage on. But that's not going to do a lot to Toxicroak. So I recover my health with leftovers. He's going to recover with Black Sludge and the Rain. And he keeps going for the Sucker Punch. And I just go for the Wish. This is my Wish Protect, Roar, and Dragon Pulse set. So if I don't attack, he can't hit me with that Sucker Punch. But I was at a pretty good amount of health to take that and go for the Dragon Pulse because I know I'll get my health back from my Wish. He's also going to get his health back from Dry Skin and Black Sludge. So yeah, so I'm pretty much at 3/4 health now with Latias, and I'm feeling kind of good about it. So I go for the Dragon Pulse again. This is kind of a stallsy battle because stallsy part in the battle because I just keep trying to attack him and then bring him down low enough and kind of just stall him out. But I'm new to the recording on this and editing, so I don't really know how to edit half clips and stuff like that. So I go for the Wish again because I knew he was going to try to go for the Sucker Punch to finish me off, which was a pretty good play. If he switches into Ferrothorn, which is what I thought he was doing, so I kept trying to stall him out because I thought he would switch into Ferrothorn to take the Dragon Pulse. So he's pretty much at above half health right now, and I get my Wish, my Wish Protect and recover more health with leftovers. So yeah, this is pretty much a stallsy part of the battle. Same thing over and over, Dragon Pulse. And yeah, he goes for the substitute. I don't know why. He's probably not predicting me to go for an attack, but now he was too weak to go for a substitute. And yeah, he goes for the Sucker Punch, and I know I'm going to be able to live that, and I'm going for the Dragon Pulse to finish off his Toxicroak. So yeah, Latias is sitting pretty good. And he switches out into his last Pokemon, Ferrothorn, which completely walls Latias, but it's okay. He goes for the Leech Seed, trying to get as much health as he can and try to damage me. But this is another stallsy part because I actually was fearing how much a Flamethrower from Heatran would do. So I went into Heatran, predicting him to attack me with a Gyro Ball, which I resist. And I went for the Earth Power, which is kind of dumb, and I also get this Wish from Latias. I went for the Earth Power because I wasn't sure how much Flamethrower did, and I didn't want to risk it. But seeing how much that did was just not very good for me. So I do have to switch out because this is my Choice Scarf Heatran, and I go back into Latias. And he just keeps setting up spikes because he pretty much knows the battle's over, and there's not much he could do to me. So he was telling me that he just wanted to set up spikes. So I just went for the Wish and Protect to try to get my health back with Latias in case something freak happened. But I still have Scrafty in the back, which would be able to hit him pretty hard because I would probably go for the Dragon Dance or just go for the Drain Punch off the start. But yep, so I'm just going to Wish Protect here, get my Latias back to full health here with leftovers recovery. And he's sitting full health with his Ferrothorn. He's been setting up spikes, so That's what he's been doing because he knows the battle's pretty much over. I switch into Heatran, take my Stealth Rock's damage. He's going to go for the Gyro Ball. And now I really want to see how much a Flamethrower from Heatran will do in the rain. I wasn't sure at first because this is my first time using Heatran and against the rain team. But that does a lot. That gets him down to low red health. And I will be able to take him out with the next Flamethrower. So that was good game, Twisted Puppy. It was a really fun battle. Got to use my Espeon and Heatran and Latias, which was a pretty good battle. So please comment, rate, and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.